is a bank in cyberspace. Monetary energy, core of the earth, doubles every year. Listen to my words. Selling doesn't hurt. Selling is absurd. It's like cutting off your wings, but you want to be a bird.
Welcome back, guys. Let's have a look at the market today. Let's see what's going on. So I know a lot of you guys are seeing a little bit worried because you're seeing this volume here drop to $25 billion. We're seeing the total global market cap dropping to $62 billion, but there's a lot more in here that we're not seeing. Okay, so this is what you have to understand. The market cap is at $1.4 trillion, and we can have a look at that later. That's not a problem. So the global market cap is sitting at 1.4, which is slightly higher than it was yesterday. But then you see this particular issue here. You're like, okay, the volume is dropped off the charts. What's going on here is 62 billion. Now, I would get worried when I see these kind of numbers, but there's a lot more happening here than we can see. So we have to go into the charts to see exactly what's going on. Now, just looking at the market, you can see we've had a 3% here, we've had a 7% here. But let's stick around with this and keep this in mind and move over to the chart. So we're not going to talk about any other coin here. We're just going to go straight to the charts and talk about what's happening right now, right? So you know this is my mumbo jumbo chart, which I've been plotting and putting all sorts of data on this one. So this is my long-term chart I'm going to be working on. There's more data to come on this, so you won't understand anything, but it's good enough. It has some basics we did. So we were talking about Fibonacci Lee the other day. Jay Lee, we were talking about him, his prediction, and I've also made a new model of my own, so I'll show you that and we'll work on that as well. So let's keep this intact. Right now, yesterday I said we have a very low probability we might go back up to test the 36,506. Seems like we are trying to do that, right? But we have this area of resistance here. Now we have a very high probability of coming here. Now, one thing I can do is adjust this, put it somewhere around here, right, and move this as well somewhere around here. Right, so because we're on the 4 hourly, 1 second, and put on the daily, that will fix things up a little bit more. So this is our daily, right? So what are we looking at? We can see in the weekend we might come somewhere along this level, remove all of this, and we can change the price now and say, well, this is the point we're looking at. So this would be, let's have a look, this particular area here. So this would be the 32,800. So let's move this, sorry. This is why I sometimes just preload certain things, because some of the stuff just don't, you see the bounce is just crazy. So let's move this zone. So we're going to call it, let's put the price in there, 32,800, right? Let's say 32,800. 3280. So this is the low we can expect. Our high is still in play, which is the 36,506, right? Still in play. So we leave that there for now. So this is just a slight update on the market to see what's going on. As you can see, we've got a mini trend forming here. So everything's looking quite cool here. So I'm just going to leave that as it is. Let it do its thing, right? Let it be. This is what I've been working on recently. So I've been looking at the charts and, you know, I'm not a big fan of Elliott wave. Well, I am a big fan, but I don't use it all the time because I'm not an expert. I've been honest about it all the time, right? I'm not an expert. But what I have done is from what I do know, so I'm experienced enough to know how the Elliott wave works. So I said, okay, let me have a look at the Elliott wave and let me see what I can see in the charts and what it's telling me, right? So what I've done is I've plotted my own Elliott wave and I said, right, what's the scenario we're seeing? Now we know Jay Lee the other day said, you know, we got an A, B, you know, we're going to have an A, B, C, which is fine. His maths are perfectly bang on. But I had a problem with that, and I said, well, there's a big problem with this ABC problem, ABC correction, because it's too big. But actually it's not, right? Actually it's not. It's pretty much okay, right? So what I'm seeing here, so I'm seeing a wave, right? So we've got 1, 2. So this is from 2020. If we have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what you were looking for is this area here needs to be similar to this area here. So the distance, the line needs to be similar, which we have, which we're fine. Also what we're looking for, right? So we're seeing the actual data here saying this is an Elliott wave. So we're seeing 0.0 to 0.1, the length is the same as 0.5. So we see this, we see these are, you know, basic, these are just normal moves, and then you've got this massive move here, and then you've got this, and then you finally complete the 5. Perfectly fine by me. This is exactly what it's showing. So once we have this, we have an ABC, which is fine. We have an ABC. Now, what we need to see here is ABC doesn't necessarily have to, and this is funny, ABC doesn't necessarily have to go below this line or be the same as this. This is a funny part, right? So when the B wave comes, the B wave, so AB correction, if it's a correction wave, we can actually have a B higher than the A. We can actually have a B higher than the A and a C just basically being the same size as an A. And it could be up here somewhere. So this is something I wanted everybody to understand, that, you know, just because it looks in a particular way, it doesn't work like that. Now, we do know on a B wave, we can expect a maximum, right, of anything, and a minimum to make sure it is a B wave. A minimum would be, and what we're talking about here is this here, right? So we say, look, let me show you. So we say maximum that we can, minimum that we must have in order to make sure this is a B is this. This is the minimum. It's not the max. Maximum could be anything. Could be up to here for a B, right? So we'll find the corrective wave once it's completed, but for now, it's nowhere to be seen. So we can only assume and say, okay, let's leave it here. But as I said, the B to C wave doesn't necessarily have to be up here, because if this B changes, right, and what we're seeing here is this B, if this B goes up to here, for example, the C can easily be up to here without an issue. C could easily be up to here. So this is what I want to show you. Now, I'm also looking at a different pattern. So what I'm saying is, forget this ABC. So let's delete this for a second. We say, forget this ABC. What if we had an ABCDE pattern playing? So not an ABC, but an ABCD E pattern. Funnily, if you look at the chart, we have an ABCD playing, which is A, B, C, D, E. We have an ABCDE pattern playing. Pretty much A and the A leg and the D to E leg is pretty much similar. B, not quite. Here we can actually change it if we want to. We can even put it here and say, look, this is the same, which is fine. I've just decided to put it here slightly different. It doesn't make a difference. This is the main one, the longest one we should have had. We've had that. So we've had our main downward pressure here already. Now, if we've had our ABCDE correction, well, what's after ABCDE? Well, from what I'm seeing, it's actually a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, a wave 1 could easily take us to this same level, the same level that we were seeing on our ABCD, right? So what we were seeing on our ABCD, right, B, well, look at this. This is a bit of a coincidence, right? You know, how can we have, right? So let's move this just to show you, right? How can we have an ABC, which could potentially be here, or maybe even come all the way up to here? It doesn't matter, right? We have the same length. That's all we need, right? How can we have this within this zone? Think about it. So is this, I mean, for me, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, wow, okay, this looks bullish. So why am I so bullish? Why would I think this is bullish? Well, let's have a look and see. Okay, let's draw some patterns. So let's get rid of this again. So we're going to get rid of this again. I'm going to say we've had our A, B, C, and everything. All of these patterns have played out, right? Let's play this on the fibs, right? So we're going to play on the fibs a little bit. We're going to say, right, we've done all of these patterns pretty much on the fibs at one point or another. Now we've done all of those, right? So what we then say, we say, okay, this is going to be our, say, wave 1. We say wave 2, we come back and we touch this particular zone here. So we take a bit of time and we touch this price here. Then we say, okay, now we want to go to our wave 3. Where would our wave 3 be? So let's have a look. Wave 3 would be here, because remember wave 3 is the longest wave, so we have 2 to 3 is the longest wave. Then we come back and we say, okay, we might come back down again and have a wave 4, fine, and then wave 1, the same length is wave 5, and we have it here. You know, so we're not basing this on anything. We're basing these on these fib lines here, these fib lines here. Okay, and in order for us to put this there, we say, okay, if this is the case here, all right, so let's have a look. Say if sorry, wrong way, my bad. We say if this is the case here and we put this here, then this should match this line. Boom, bang on. So what we're doing is we're basing these on the fibs and the data that we see. Ignore this one, this is for something else. So this is what we have. So finally, now that we understand that our A, B, right? A, B, which is going to come, well, C could easily come down here, come down here, come down here, come down here, come all the way down here. Doesn't make a difference. Our ABC is there. So obviously, I need to give you more evidence. We're talking about this on a shorter time frame. This is a hypothesis. This is not a fact, but we are using facts on the chart to predict the future. And we're using the Elliott waves in combination with the Fibonacci's as a mathematical confluence, basically. So let's see what we are seeing right now, because I've had somebody else show me something else as well. And we're going to use all of this in combination to understand what's going on. So this is, somebody's been talking about hash, like, you know, the mining hash, the hash ribbons and whatnot. So what I've did is I said, you know what, I'll put it all together. So what we're looking at is this particular area here. These flags indicate when miners were selling. These flags indicate when miners were buying. Simple. That's all we're going to know, right? When miners were selling, when miners were buying. This is what we see. When we're looking at this area, this is where you can see this is capitulation area. So what we can do, we can go to the settings and say, let's have a look at what we're seeing. So these particular areas here, right? This diamond area here, this is where they are buying, right? Miner capitulation in blue. We can change it and actually, let's do it white. So everyone can see this is a different color. Let's make it a little lighter. Right, let's make it white. Okay, so we've made that white, and let's also make this a little bit brighter for everybody. Let's make it blue. No, not blue. Let's make it green. How about that? No. You know what? This looks good. Right, let's make it this color. So we can identify what we are seeing. So let's do this, right? So you can see this is where you have all of this capitulation happening, where miners are accumulating, right? They've sold enough. Well, look at this. It starts, everything is like, you know, miners are selling and miners are accumulating around here. This is the area. So we see this, and then we see what happens. Miners are holding, and when you see miners holding, you see the market move. Same story here. What do you see here? Market move, and market keeps on moving until miners decide to sell again. They need to pay for something, right? So they sell. When they sell, other miners come on. So some miners sell, weak hands. Strong miners who don't have to pay bills start accumulating the very same miners' coins. So miners are trading with miners. They're not the best traders, but that's what they're doing, you know. And it's giving us a signal that we should be buying because miners are now fully stocked up. And then we get these patterns coming in, and then we're off to the races, right? So this is what we say, and this is the hash rate, by the way. So you know when the miner hash rate drops, right? So when the miner hash rate drops, a lot of the miners start panicking. So you can see here, I've also mapped the stochastic RSI on this on a daily level. So we're tracking this on a daily, and we're seeing, okay, this is what's happened, but we have this divergence here. So we see the hash rate dropped. Oh my God, the hash ribbon is saying, okay, this is a perfect buy zone as well. Everything's saying buy, right? And here we see buying, but we don't see that in the market cap because we can't. So let's go back to it. Let's go back to this and say, right, okay, why can't we see it, right? Now, when we're looking at the market cap, we only see the number of volume, buying and selling in total, right? And they're putting that there and saying, this is the action that's happening. And today, for example, the total level of action was 726,000 Bitcoin. That's all it was, 726,000 Bitcoin, nothing more. This is the number of Bitcoins being bought and sold. This is the total number of hands changing, right? That's all we want to know, right? So now that we understand exactly what's happening and we can see a pattern forming, we can see after this particular zone, after these particular zones, you can put another one here. This one I forgot. Look, check this out. Look, I'll put another one here. And what I'm doing is I'm matching these boxes. And you can see it's pretty damn the same time. This happens over again. You see, every time this is happening, you see, look, this is like, this is the moment, like users sentiment, right? But you're looking at here as well. So you're looking at more data here to understand that hash drops, market goes bullish. Market is bullish, right? So let's have a look at something that somebody else shared with me the other day, right? And what they shared here was this. Let me change it. Let me put it to bars. Right, we're going to move it to bars, right? Just so you understand that this is the chart. And we see this divergence here. And we see the market, as you can see, the market starting coming down since April, like, where are we? Not April. Yeah, here, there we are, like, so May. So from May, we started dipping down. But at the same time, you can see at the same time, this was the dipping down, right? This is the same thing. So here you can see dipping down. But from this particular day, on the 17th of March, every indicator has been saying, and I'll explain the indicators to you as well. So every indicator here has been suggesting we are moving up. So we have a divergence. We have a bullish divergence upwards, but a price action moving downwards. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? So price action moving downwards because there's not enough buying and selling. So how do we explain this, right? Stochastic RSI is saying that these are overbought territories. So this is what traders will be using. The RSI, relative strength indicator, is telling us that people are still buying. We're not even in the overbought territory. So these are hodlers and these are traders. So we see traders, we see hodlers. But that's not good enough. We want to know, where's the money? Well, we've got the money flow indicator here. And guess what? We're seeing the money flowing in. We see money almost, it's getting up there. When it comes here, it's like too much money's getting in. So when you see this particular area, you say, okay, too much money's coming in. Here, we can see the money coming in. So how much money came in today? Well, what did we see here? Let's have a look. On Bitcoin, so we're trying to track Bitcoin, right? We say we've got 25 billion. Let's refresh this and see what happens right now. Okay, we've got 24 billion here that re-entered the market. So what was it doing? Money coming in or money going out? Well, this is, you're going to be shocked to see this. Where is it? Right, let's move into this. Let's give you a shock of your life. So we've seen money flowing in. So is money flowing out or flowing in? Remember, when it's here and it's coming down, it's flowing out. When it's here, it's flowing in. So what do we see here? You know, maybe let's show you, hold on. So you can see, this is showing you the daily. So what we're seeing is, yes, let me put a line on it so I can show you. This is freaky, right? You're going to love it. Boom. So what you see here is $28 billion has flown into the market. And out of that, few have left. So we know that this is the mark that came in. We know approximately $3 billion left, right? So we're tracking this and we're saying, okay, the average is this. So we had, this is what we've basing it on. So this is on a 24-hour basis, right? Because remember, market cap is not showing you anything apart from 24 hours to this minute. So what we are seeing here is, sorry, I'm on the wrong chart, is that we had this money coming in and this average within this particular time, so 28 to 25, maybe even less, right? So we're seeing this 24-hour average and we're saying that we've got 25 here, the top was 28. This is money coming in. Money flow indicator shows you money coming in, right? So we can see money's coming in. We can see, you know, people are buying on the market. So this confirms that, which is absolutely fine. And then we see the traders are also, right, trading upwards, the movement. Everything is suggesting a bullish divergence means there should be a bullish reversal, right? So this is the long term we're looking at. So as you can see, we're tracking the similar time and we're seeing this, right? So the information we've been getting since here is all bullish, right? So if we put a line here, you can see that this white line, just follow this line. You can see that everything here on this particular day, on the 20th of, let's put it on the 20th, right? So 20th of May has been showing bullish. Everything has been showing bullish, right? But the market price action has been going down. And that is because people are not selling. Does that make sense now? People are not selling. That's what it is. So I want to look at more information. Let's not look at this. let's look at this. So what we're looking at here is the Bitcoin, like the cryptocurrency oscillators, right? So we're seeing most of the advanced technicals here. We're seeing the MACD, MACD signals, everything we're seeing here. We're seeing the RSI, momentum indicator, everything. And what do we have here? This is quite funny, right? We have a neutral here. We have the RSI showing us at 46, neutral, because we're right in the middle, right? When we look at this chart, we can see the RSI is in the middle. So RSI is neutral. And this is also telling us we are in the neutral territory, right? The momentum indicator is telling us that currently some people are selling. So we can see this, currently some people are selling. So we come back to a chart and say, okay, what's happening right now? Oh, look, selling. Oh, look, here, nothing much, but here we can see selling. So we can see the stochastic RSI is telling us it's selling. So we see all of this information here, right? So we can see who's doing what. Now we can see, for example, Matic network. Currently, a lot of people are dumping, right? A lot of people are dumping. There's sell going on here. Are they buy, maker, buy? So you can see who's buying what, who's selling what. This is a lot more information than you would get from your coin market cap or something like this, right? Now, let's go to, where is it? Not this one. Let's look at the dominance, right? So what we're looking at here is a total entire market cap volume here, right? We're seeing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, who's got what. Now, there's funny, I don't know, Cardano, yes, Cardano's here as well. So it's not in order. It should have been in order, but it's not in order. Cardano's been taking a lot of dominance recently. Cardano is kind of like number 4. So we can see all the data here saying like, what's the dominance doing? So BTC dominance is definitely struggling a little bit. We can, see that on a chart if you want. Here we can see who is, the trend, right? What's the strongest buys in the market and strongest sells, right? So far, what do we see? We see Shiba has the strong buy, Bitcoin strong buy, Ethereum strong buy. What do I see here? Strong sell. So when we're looking at, like, for example, you can see everything. By the way, you can see who is what, who's buying, and we're seeing. So what we're looking at here is the who's got the strongest buys. So biggest buys we can see is Shiba. That's a bit surprising. BTC and Ethereum, right? And we're looking at the 20-day simple moving average, buy. 50-day moving average, buy. 20-day moving average, buy. So what we're looking at is when we start looking at these kind of specific datas, we start seeing where what the market is doing and where the market wants to go. Now let's look at shorter time frame, and let's give you another analysis today, right? So let's have a look at this on an hourly, so we can get more data compacted into this. So what we're seeing, number one, we see a trend moving up. Fine, that's what we're seeing. Number 2, we see this trend line here that we need to beat. So let's put it here, boom, right? So we can see we have a resistance point just here. Very simple. We know we have a resistance point just here. Actually, let me adjust this a little bit. Boom. There you go. We have a resistance point here. We have this support range here, right? There we go. We have a support range here. We see all of this. Now we want to know, okay, what's the price that we can expect? Right? So if we are going to go down, how far are we going to go? And if we are going to go up, how far are we going to go? So let's have a look. Let's put this on the market and see what it's telling us, right? So let's adjust this a little bit. Let's move it here so you can see the line and the numbers together, right? So now we can see we have this particular range here. The numbers could be slightly off, right? So we're seeing this 35,305, very close to what I said here. Right, so 36,500. So this is based on a daily, as you can see, and that is currently based on where is it? Yeah, this is based on some hourly stuff, right? So we're doing some hourly stuff. We can adjust this if you want, but that's what I'm seeing so far. Unless, yeah, this is it. This is what I'm seeing so far. So we've got this particular range here where it's saying, okay, in this short term, so we take this data, in this short term, we can see a level of resistance will be faced here. Now, if we turn around and say, okay, but what if we have a bullish scenario? What's the bullish action here? You know, what's the bullish case here? Well, let's do a bullish case here, right? We take this and we put this down here, and let's adjust this here and say, well, this is going to be our top, this is going to be our bottom. What's the bullish case scenario? So we've got the bearish scenario here, right? So what we're doing here, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's get rid of this. So on the bearish scenario, we say, okay, how far down can we come, right? Sorry, I said it wrong. This is how far can we come. Well, we're expecting to come down to approximately this level here. Boom, right? And this is on an hourly, so this could continue forever today, right? So as long as we're moving up, we're fine. So right now, in the next few hours, we say, okay, you know, what's going to happen by 10 p.m.? So this is 10 p.m. Now, by 10 p.m., it's telling us that we could come down to 33,500. That sounds pretty decent, right? Okay, now what we do, we say, okay, let's see a bullish scenario. Let's get rid of this and see bullish scenario. So on the bullish scenario, what can we expect and where are we going to find resistance? Well, this resistance here would be this level here. So first resistance we're going to face is on this line. If we break this line, then we're going to move up, we're going to confirm that, and then we're going to find resistance here. This is where it would be. So this actually matches the 36,668 actually pretty much matches what we said here, the 36,500. So it's $100 off. But that's what it is. So you can expect to see so a bit of traffic around this area basically. And on the downside, as we did, let's do here on the downside, as you can see, I'm not going to save these charts. This is just temporary, right? I don't do hourly stuff. But on the downside, as you can see, this so on the downside, you can see this 33 to 32, you know, so approximately 31.8, right? So we've got a nice little area here. We've got two little levels confirming that. So on the downside, we can see this particular fight here. So this would be our bottom range, and this would be our top range where we would see resistance, right? So this is our resistance box, this is our support box, right? So we can see these prices, and I mean, so you can see, just put it down here, you know, you got the prices here. So that's what we would be looking at on the short term, just in case you guys were interested. But this is some fascinating stuff, right? When we're looking at all of this data and we're seeing how we have so much divergence here, and you know, it's showing us that market is saying it wants to go up. Everything is indicating it wants to go up since this day. That's so crazy, right? Since this day, it's been telling us it wants to go up, but the price action has been going down. And the price action has been going down because nobody's buying. Because we've had so many fear in the market because of the miner fear, miners stopping mining, hash rate fear. Again, it's the people who don't understand. Hash rate will adjust itself. Satoshi Nakamoto did it in such a way that as long as one device is mining Bitcoin, the hash rate will adjust and allow to give that one device all the Bitcoins, right? So the more devices, obviously, get a split of the Bitcoin. But if you've got less device, then it will automatically adjust and come back to its 10 minutes rate and reward you whatever. And again, this is so from what I'm seeing, I'm using somebody else's idea, and I said, okay, let me use that with what I know. So remember, I'm not a big Elliott wave expert. I've told you this before, but if I was, and you know, from what I know, my level of experience, I know how the Elliott wave plays, the pattern plays. So I've just taken the pattern and I said, okay, this pattern is bang on accurate. I can see that already because this is what's happened already. Based on the Elliott wave fundamentals of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, this is just so hilarious. I mean, it's freaky on the dot to if we had an ABC wave, right? So on an ABC wave, what we would expect, this would be the wave 1, you know, of the Elliott wave restart 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so far I can see a mini ABCDE pattern already played. So if that makes any sense to you, I'm using the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 method, ABCDE method, right, to find myself the bottom. And I think this is the market bottom. You know, don't hold me to it, but this is what I'm seeing, right? And if this was the case, then if this is an ABC, then actually it's not a bad thing. right? I doubt we're going to go lower than certain levels. Like what's the lowest we can go to? Let's have a look and see. Let's do this and say, right, okay, what's the lowest we can do? So we go here. So let's get this out. Let's get this and say, right, what's the lowest we can do? And we put it here. Boom. So far, the lowest it's showing us, if the worst case scenario did happen, sorry, my bad. If the worst case scenario did happen, the lowest would be around this 18,600 level. 18,600 level. I mean, just look at it. Highly unlikely. You know, it could happen. I mean, this is Bitcoin after all, but highly unlikely because, and what I'm basing it on is this previous high methods, right? So when we talk about what the previous highs were, this is what I'm basing it on. I'm saying, actually, let me get on a weekly so we can get more into the data. So what I'm basing it on is these previous highs. We've never come back to these previous highs. So I doubt we're going to come back below the previous high on this cycle. I think we're going to stay above. I mean, for us, the worst case scenario looks more like, and if I was to put a line on it, looks like this particular level here. If I put a red line on it, actually, I'll make it red. I'll make it something else, just so we don't get confused, right? Let's make it yellow line, right? Yellow line. So what I'm seeing here, and let's adjust this. Right, so what I'm seeing here is the worst case scenario in this particular situation. I'm thinking, well, for me, the worst that could happen is we might come all the way down here. That's the worst I could see. I don't see anything else before we get a rebound. And even if we did get a rebound, then the next move, it gets more powerful, because the next move we can actually start drawing it as well. Now I'll show you what I mean. If we were to draw the next move and do a 1 2 3 4 5 move, come on, I hate that when it does that. All right, let's do this 1 2 3 4 5 move. So we do 1, you know, let's just say, for example, we come here, we do 2, we do 3, right, 4 5. I mean, it just gets, how would I say this, it gets crazy. So I have the scenario, it doesn't matter. This, you see what I mean? So short term, of course, everything looks bearish. I think we've had the bearishness. For me, medium term, I'm looking bullish, right? But longer term, as you can see, it's a lot more bullish than you could imagine. I mean, we're looking at some crazy numbers, right? Crazy numbers. If we did have this new ABCD, actually, this would be here, and this would be, yeah, this is fine. Right, so this is how it gets nuts. Basically, it gets nuts. It would be approximately, this one would be approximately here, actually, my bad. And then the next one would be approximately, sorry, let's see if we can figure out. Next one would be approximately here. Sorry, this is it. So next one would be approximately here, and then the 5 would be, and I'm just using maths basically. This 5 I haven't added, but this kind of, as you can see, this is the kind of a pattern we will get. So yeah, I hope everybody kind of makes sense, and I'm gonna probably make a few less videos in the next few days or weeks, because I'm actually quite busy working on a few different projects at this present moment with a few different teams. So I've just been really busy. I mean, today I've had a bit of a time, so I thought, you know, I'll just do it. But that's what it is, guys. I mean, you know, when we look at certain metrics, we can see, you know, FUD equals some people buying a lot, buying. So this is FUD. This is FUD. So when you have FUD, you have this accumulation going on, right? So you have this accumulation, and everything is indicating this accumulation, you know. And then you see, boom, we're about to go. We're overbought now. This is overbought. We bought too much, right? So, you know, we get signals showing us buy. Everything's screaming buy, until we come back to here. Again, only people that were selling were the miners. So strong hands, you know, strong hands who bought here, held up to here, or even held up to here. Always, the longer you're in it, the better you're going to be. You're always going to make money, right? You're always going to make money. That's what you have to understand, you know. And this is where you know, first time we had the highest amount of hash rate drop. But as miner, from tomorrow, it's going to be readjusted, and you'll see this balance here. You see a positive balance here, right? And you can obviously see the stochastic RSI. So those are huge data that we need to understand, we need to look at, and we need to say, okay, what's the probability of what the market is going to do, and how is it going to do. So right now you'll probably hear me do a lot more probabilities, but probabilities would be on a specific number. So I'm not going to give you maybe we go down here. No, I'm going to give you a number. This is a box, this is a range, you get a range. So don't worry, I'm not bearish at all. I'm still very bullish, and I'm more bullish now than I was before, because all the data is telling me we need to be bullish, right? All the data is telling me we need to be bullish. Everything's telling me we need to be bullish, right? So we should have been doing this a long time ago. So, you know, here's something I was showing to somebody. I was saying, like, you know, if we have an ABC and this is invalidated, we could easily, potentially, right? And this is what I was showing him. I said, look, if we have an ABCDE pattern, whatever, right? And we come back here and our C ends. This is what I was saying to him. I said, if we are so close and we come into this, you know, within any time very soon. So let's get rid of this altogether. So, and we come down here and let's get rid of this as well. So I've got so many fibs here because we've been doing so many maths. Let's get rid of all of this fibs. Right, let's do this. So we say, like, you know, here's another one. Get rid of that as well. I don't need that. Right, so let's do this. So we say, you know what, we have our ABC. All right, so we have our ABC, which is fine, right? You know, we can even use this point as our A and then count this point as our B. Well, guess what the next point would be? And I showed him this, and you can see the pattern. Obviously, everybody knows this pattern that I love drawing so much. Well, this is what I see. I say, well, this might turn out to be one of these. You know, and imagine it is one of these. That's going to really blow your socks off. So hope this kind of helps you guys understand what's happening in the market, how the market looks, and you know, just hold tight. It's coming. Hold tight. Everything's coming. So don't worry too much about it. So I've got a call coming. So yeah, I'm going to cut this video short. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. I don't know what you're doing, and I'm going to catch you on another one very soon. Adios, amigos.